Hey guys, so today is March 22nd, 2017. Today I decided that I would try to document my build or my rebuild of my engine, which is the 3SGE of the Altezza. I was driving it one day and then the clutch just wore out and I couldn't move it or anything. Like I could go up to like 15 miles an hour or whatever and then it would just slip and had to get towed home and stuff. And I was like, I knew I needed to change out the clutch because I bought it used and I don't know what happened to it, like who drove it first, like it's already been worn out and it was the OEM clutch, it's never been changed out, so I already knew I needed to do that. So right now I've got pretty much everything taken apart. It's ready to come out and I tried to get the transmission out, but for some reason it's not coming out. I think it's hitting on some part of the car, and instead of cutting parts of the chassis off, I decided I might as well just take the whole engine out. To get the clutch out, I'm taking the whole engine out and I might as well just do a whole rebuild while I'm at it, because yeah, it's a used engine and I don't want any more problems with this. Might as well do it all in one shot. So yeah, I decided that I'll take the whole engine apart, I'll clean it up, take it to the machine shop, getting machined or whatever, and I wanted to record the process because while I was doing research on this engine, like before I got it or during the swap, like I could barely find any information on this engine because it was only made in Japan, and the only things I've ever found were like that had good information was either like about the 3S GTE from the MR2, which is the only thing that's close to this that came out in America, or it was like some Russian stuff. Like I found a Russian manual online, which is good because it helps me out with the torque specs when I'm rebuilding the engine, taking it apart, the order of which to do things, because this is my first engine rebuild, so I don't know much about it. All the information is just from online forums or the manual, which like lists how to take things apart, what kind of torque specs to put it back to. Mostly I'm going to be doing an OEM rebuild, mostly OEM parts. I was thinking about doing like new cams or different springs, but I decided it would be safest just to stick to the stock stuff. And I wanted to document all the things, like make a video on when I'm taking the heads apart or cleaning it up and just the whole process of when I get it back from the machine shop. Alright, so tonight we're going to start with pulling the engine out because I pretty much have everything done. I'm just going to pull the engine out. I might need to lower the subframe a little bit just because this engine didn't originally come in this car, which is an FRS, and it's just a really tight tolerance. Like I had to grind off some of the oil pan, which a lot of people do with like A86 swaps with beams. Like pretty much any swap with the beams that I know of, people have had to shave off the bottom of the oil pan, and I shave off especially a lot because I don't have a subframe spacer, which most people get. Like I know Excessive Manufacturing makes subframe spacers for the A86, the silica, but I made the mounts myself, so and I don't have any subframe spacers, so it's kind of tight in there, especially like on the lower part near the oil pan and also by the firewall. So yeah, today I'm going to start by taking the engine out, put it on the engine stand, and see where it goes from there. Okay, so pretty much we got everything taken out. Only thing that's holding it down right now is the mount. I got all the intake, everything out, got the wires out of the way. Yeah, exhaust off, everything's pretty much off. As you can see, this stuff's pretty nasty, which I'm gonna have to repaint and clean it all off. And right now, got my carbon jack stands, got the subframe is not disconnected yet, but I've got the steering rack taken out, the coilover is disconnected, so just so I can get the subframe off. But yeah, here we go. go. Finally got the engine disconnected after about maybe like 30-45 minutes of prying. Pain in the ass, but finally here. Woo! So I actually had to take out both of the engine mounts because the bolt was holding them down into that little slot right there, so I couldn't pull it out since the bolt that held the engine mounts down onto the subframe they couldn't come off unless I took the bolt off. And you see here, it's a little hard to explain, but once I show you it. Okay, so my first SD card ran out of memory. So anyways, this is what I meant by the bolt won't come out because it's hitting onto the bushing right there. So the bolt's kind of, this thing's screwed onto it, but anyways, the bolt won't come out unless I took the whole mount off or unscrewed it from here. But it was just easiest just to take the whole thing off the engine and just lift it up out, because this bolt was holding onto the subframe, so I couldn't pull it out. But we got it, so time to get on the engine stand and let's see where it goes from there. So yesterday I was getting pretty late. By the time I pulled the engine out, both of my SD cards had ran out of memory. So my first SD card has 16 gigs and I filled that thing up. And then my second SD card only had 4 gigs, so I got filled up pretty quickly. It was getting pretty late, so I didn't want to waste my time just getting the data off the SD card, putting it on my computer, then coming all the way back here and to record me just pulling the engine out and setting it down, as you can see right here. But the good thing is I got it out. I recorded most of it, I guess. It wasn't that interesting, it's just kind of a video of seeing me pull an engine out. But today I'm going to take the flywheel off, take the clutch out, put on the engine stand, take the oil pan off, maybe take the heads off, clean it up a little bit. And once I get the heads off and start doing the disassembly and the feeding, I'll have another video for that. I'm really excited to get into the engine, start tearing it apart, see what's inside it, see what I can learn, see what I can show you guys, because there's not much information around this engine, at least definitely not any videos of disassembly, and I feel like it'll help a lot of people out just to learn more about it. And I just want to remind you guys that this is my first engine rebuild. Disassembly is my first engine swap as well. This is the first time I ever changed out a clutch. First time for a lot of stuff. I'm not that knowledgeable, I don't have much personal experience, but I'm hoping that I can learn a lot from this process of disassembling the engine and everything. And thanks so much for watching. If you guys have any tips, if you guys know anything that can help me out, or anything about like just how I can record better, any better angles, what you guys like to see, I really appreciate it. Just put a comment below, and I'm really excited. I hope you guys stay tuned for what's next.